Hey guys, Mark Ferrasci, Protect Dog Training. I'm going to come inside and work today with the puppy, with Zeus, the Tasmanian devil. And what I wanted to try to accent before I go out and get him is that you might have in your mind what you want to achieve and what you want to do with the animal. With a dog like Zeus, you never know how his excitement or his head's at is going to overtake everything. Now, he has a certain perspective of this house where he comes in, he jumps in everything, his nose is going, and I don't stifle that too much because you can't keep your thumb down and suppress all this energy and all this behavior that this dog is showing. You've got to let him do his thing and then take it in little slivers and little pathways the way you want it to go and start conditioning behaviors that you need out of the animal, right? And then try to create this conditioning that basically gives you a baseboard that you can build on, okay? And again, think of it like booting a computer or building a house. I always tell people that dog training to me is like building a house. It starts here, you put the foundation, you make sure it's all square, you build the walls, and you do this, and it all is contingent on the dog's genetics. And what this dog is a Dutch Shepherd, very high and strong-willed dog that's very precocious. And it means that you better know what you're doing when you get a dog like this. And you don't want to screw him up by trying. Most people, this is human nature. We want to spank. We want to suppress. Knock that off, okay? That's our drives. That's our nature. And we think that is going to get the dog to stop. Suppression with a dog like this is not going to work. I always like to equate it with taking a toothpaste roll. And if you have the cap on a toothpaste roll and you started squeezing pressure, right? And you started squeezing, trying to suppress, trying to stop behavior from happening, you're going to end up having that tube of toothpaste split out the sides and squirt everywhere. In other words, you're going to get some kind of reaction from that container that you're putting the pressure on, right? So you have to let the dog's drives take hold and use the tools you got. Food drive, toy drive. This dog has a very, very high prey drive. He spirals up and nothing flat. You can't take the genetics out of the dog. You ended up buying this sucker and you've got this dog and you're going to end up with a dog that's just too much dog for you. In a general sense, that's what I always try to tell the public. This is not a dog for the layman. This is not a dog that just anybody should have. If you get a dog like a Dutch Shepherd, you should have been in 2 or 3 dogs already and should be heavy into sport or into something that says you're a trainer. And then this is going to be the next step up to be able to handle a dog like that. This is not a dog for the layman. Okay, you're only doing the disservice to the dog. And you import the dog over, you get all swayed because everybody's breeding all these dogs and got all these litters of puppies everywhere, and you want to have that dog. And your human nature is to go out and buy what you want, but most of the people don't have a clue what they're getting into. And this stuff is said again and again on the internet. It's all over the place. Everybody that knows anything is going to tell you this is not a dog for the layman. It just isn't, right? This dog is a lot of dog, and to get the use out of this dog and not to ruin the dog and not to give him a life that you end up throwing him into the system later on down the line because he's too much dog for you and you want to go on with life and go into another avenue. I want to travel this year. Good luck with that. So I try my best to educate and to teach and to get people to understand this stuff, and just 90% of the time society won't listen. Because there's a huge influx of people that are out there, the kids that are out there doing all this social media and all these Instagram videos, and oh, it looks so cool. But there's a lifestyle involved with that. There's something that comes with that these people have put their lifestyle into. More power to them, but they're affecting society. And I'll give you a good example of that. There was a bite sport that came over from Europe, and it went in down the way here, and they had a trial this weekend. And these people getting out, and they're all proud of this trial. It's a fad. There's a lot of pressure put on these dogs with shaker cans and beating the dog off of them and all this. And then you go to their little channel that they've got that denotes the bite work that they do. And it's always this higher echelon. A dog that's going to fuck you up, right? But who needs a friggin' cane corso or to that degree? right? It's the liability that comes with that is so high it's not even funny. And then what ends up happening is that the government, the society as a whole, starts taking away what you've created because you're doing all this and showing all the public all this crap, right? I don't agree with it, totally don't agree with it, right? Because who needs that type of a monster? Nobody, okay? You're only asking for a problem. That dog is going to end up nailing somebody and putting them in the hospital to the point that liability is just too damn high, right? My criteria is so different. I have to have a dog that's stable, goes out in public, good with people. His demeanor is, I am building a dog for function that matches society and my customers, okay? Sure, oh, it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of ego going out there. My dog, I won the big prize. More power to you. I'm proud of you, right? But reality and truth is that whole thing is destined to get torn down because the government's going to keep seeing that. Keep putting your videos out there. Keep doing that. Keep showing them what you're doing. Watch what happens. And pretty soon, the extreme bullies will be disallowed from friggin' Britain and from Europe, in that area over in the UK, and you can't even sell your dogs over there because everybody and their brother has such a stigma of fear of that breed because you've caused it with all your videos and all your stuff all over the place. It's ridiculous. And it's a liability like a mother, okay? So if you really want to give a service to society as a whole and educate the ignorant public, which is what I'm all about, right, is teaching, getting people to learn and grow and have a healthy relationship with their animals, you need to have a criteria that's totally different, okay? Go ahead, keep pushing that stuff. Oh, it looks cool, it's great. It's all part of youth and everything. You think it's all badass, right? Go for it, right? But all you're doing is a disservice, and as time goes along, you keep doing it, and they will take away all that, right? And they will disallow it, they will you know what I mean? They'll make it illegal. And they'll stop that, right? And that's because you're an idiot out there doing this kind of work to a point where those dogs will maim somebody. They don't play. And I want a dog to be able to take a man down. There's no two ways about it. But I build the dog differently to a point where my dog has to be stable and good with people and be able to do the job in a real common sense way that says I've got it. And I set that up with the way I work with my customers, and I won't go into it, but there's a whole way of deploying this tool, this animal, to do a job and to fulfill a function for a family of kids and people that don't know. You have to have a stable animal. Drives me nuts, it really does. So that's enough for now. I'm going to pull the puppy in. I'm going to do another video with the puppy since I started yakking, and I forgot I was going to go out and get him and bring him in and start doing the video. And I want to pull back because I keep doing this and I want to preach, and I get so, I believe it in my heart. You know, I get so passionate about trying to put out a point of view, like my point of view of the kids that want to just go poof. I want to be a dog trainer, hang a shingle out, and have no experience. And the general public, they're learning on your dime. And I'm learning about the market and what people are charging out there. It's god-awful amount of money. And if you're that much of an idiot that you're going to pay these people the kind of money that they're charging you for, just drives me nuts. I don't charge that much compared to them. I probably charge half of that. Why? I'm old school, and I can do my job in a very efficient way, and I don't want to be rich, right? And then think that I'm a good businessman because I'm taking advantage of people because they're talked into shelling out their money, and they think that that's a good thing. 90% of these trainers don't know their ass from a hole in the ground, right? There's some out there that are really earning their way, and they're building their craft, and they're earning their stripes, and they're doing it nice and slow and methodical. I got a friend of mine in Vegas that I have a lot of respect for. He's went through bedbug dogs. He's been doing a lot of nose work in that regards. He's worked for a company in Vegas. He's lucky he's in Vegas in that regards. And now lately I've seen him out there with a lot of service dogs. That's an art in itself. How do I know about the service dog industry? My first boss was a seeing eye dog trainer. This is the one that San Rafael Seeing Eye Dogs that broke the ceiling and started the whole process. And now they got service dogs that are doing all kinds of things for people. But that's why if you come at me and you ask me, do I train service dogs? Can I? Sure. It's only customization. I can train anything to do anything, right? But here's the point. It's not my area of expertise. It's not my lane that I eat, breathe, and sleep and live for. And I believe that those that are doing that are building them, and that's all they do is service dogs, that's their lane. leave them alone, let them stay in their lane, and I'll stay in mine. Can I do it? Sure, I could go work with a company right now and go out and get a job as a service dog trainer and go out and put it all, because I've been doing this since I was 12. But so when somebody comes to me, I just tell them, no, I don't do that, and then I refer them to a couple good companies that are in our area, because it takes a whole criteria of how you're building this dog to fulfill a function for that customer, but also to fit into society in the right way, to carry themselves the right way, so they denote the professionalism of what a real service dog is all about. And then you got all these people that are going online and getting service dog certificates, and their dog is not out there going crazy in the grocery store, this and that, and having no concept of what a real service dog should be like, right? There is a criteria of how that dog should carry themselves out in public. And then there's a customization, because you have to deal with people's infirmities. You know, maybe they've got their left leg messed up over in the war, you know, and they lean more on the left. If they're going to fall down, they can't lean on that side, or they can lean on, they need the support on that side, and opposite. I mean, there's so much customization and understanding of wheelchairs and all this stuff, and then the mental attitude coming at you from somebody that has an impairment, and then has a little bit of a pity party going on, and then you have to understand how to work with that customer in such a way that you give them tough love and you bring them through all that, right? That's a skill that you acquire with that being your lane, the lane that you live in as far as a dog trainer, right? So enough said. Mark Ferrasci, Protect Dog Training, signing off. I'm out to get this puppy. I'm going to do one with the puppy, and I'll probably post both of them. I said I was going to back off the internet, but there's so many little subjects that I think are really important to put out there. And I know a lot of the kids hate my guts because they think I want to be a gatekeeper, but no, I care about my trade. I'll talk to you later. Mark Ferrasci, Protect Dog Training, working in a dirty, ugly house that needs to be gutted, and I'm looking for a contractor to come in here and gut this thing. I'll talk to you later.